It's not a friendly time to try to be Asian American right now, or for people of color, discrimination, violence. So I'm wondering, based on your history of activism, what advice would you have for just people of color to get through these difficult times? Because it's not very Star-Trek right now, so I'm wondering any wisdom advice just to help us get through these times right now.
It's the same mentality that put my generation in those prison camps. It's a sweeping generalization that because of one's race or religion or other commonality, but a sweeping generalization that they're all like this, potential spies or potential terrorists. We live in a people's democracy. The ideals of our democracy are noble ideals: equal justice, government under law, due process. When you're arrested, you have a right to know why you're arrested, the charge, and then the right to a trial. But all that disappears when the society is swept up in these generalizations. And so we, the people, that's such a powerful phrase, have to be participants in our society. It's a participatory democracy. And we need to be actively engaged and put a stop to people that react to these sweeping generalizations. When we were incarcerated, we were all potential spies, saboteurs, and fifth columnists. We had nothing to do with Pearl Harbor. We were Americans, and ultimately, after they incarcerated us, they needed. There was a wartime manpower shortage. They needed people, and so they started drafting. They categorized us as enemy alien. They started drafting enemy aliens out of prison camps fit for service in the military. And they performed with such extraordinary courage and heroism that they are deified in American military history. The most decorated unit of the entire Second World War was an all-Japanese military that came to barbarian places. And I want more people to know this history, and that's why in my autobiography, To the Stars, I wrote about that, and they called us enemy. But it's because we don't participate in our participatory government. I was, as a teenager on, involved in the civil rights movement or the peace movement during the Vietnam War or the campaign to get an apology and redress for Japanese Americans. And we, Star Trek fans who are activists for Star Trek, need also to be active in our times, in our social issues, because the problems come from the same kind of generalized prejudice based on discrimination, racial discrimination or religious discrimination or whatever other sexual orientation discrimination, LGBT discrimination. We who know the issues need to be actively involved in our process.
And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, I'm so sorry we're out of time.
Starfleet Underground, beaming into a podcast feed near you. Log on to our website at starfleetunderground.com and send your comments and questions to thecollective@starfleetunderground.com. Follow us on Twitter at StarfleetUnderG and on Facebook and Instagram, we're Starfleet Underground.